And now, Jabroni Studios, in association with Big Herm Productions, is proud to present to you, recording from an undisclosed location in Oakdale, Connecticut, it's Chris Burns, it's Chris Lynch, this is Dysfunction Junction.
It is a proud moment for me to announce it for the first time in perhaps 17, 18, 25 years. Mike Herman made it through an entire 2-night Wrestlemania, but he used to do it back when it was one night. Remember when the earth was young and the crust was warm?
Crust was still warm.
Yes. Dinosaurs may or may not have roamed the earth and rung your doorbell, but to all you intelligent wrestling fans around the world, we say to you, welcome to Dysfunction Junction.
Fuck yeah.
Chris Burns is here with you. Below me, the Possum King himself, looking bigger and better than ever.
Christopher Lynch.
And, of course, the producer extraordinaire, the man with no hair, Big Herm, Michael P.S. Herman.
What is up?
And in the below the Herm square, we have WrestlingOnline.com legend, John Beck with us. John and I used to write for WrestlingOnline.com. We still get into deep conversations about wrestling, politics, theology. Pick a topic. We'll spend 2 hours on the phone shooting the shit about it. But tonight, it's 90 minutes of WrestleMania. Night 1, night 2. John, how you been lately?
I've been good lately. I've been tired lately, but I'm here.
That's good. Did somebody say your name?
Not yet.
I just said John Beck, dumbass.
And I was already here, so I had already appeared. I'm not as good as
right. Well,
I can't appear at will like he can. It's not in my skill set.
We will get to that when we get to night 2. We are going to talk all things WrestleMania from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm a little upset they did not introduce me or mention me on any of the pre-shows, because I am this year's Andrew the Giant Battle Royal winner, and I have the trophy to prove it. Andrew the Giant.
Andrew the Giant.
It was a 6-man, 2-dog, 1-woman Battle Royal, and I came out the winner.
Actually, that's impressive.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's not like
small. They were small dogs.
Yeah, they were Chihuahuas. You kick them, they flew over.
6 men.
They were small dogs.
Yeah, but they were small men too. They're all midgets.
I was going to say they were all midgets. So,
I mean, some call them midgets. I prefer to call them kindergartners.
Man, this is how I try to give you credit.
You can't. It just doesn't happen that way. I like Lynch. I just noticed your video tag. I understand why you call yourself that, because you can't see it.
I can't see you.
You can't see. Well, maybe now you can see it now that you've dropped all that poundage. I'm still, both of you guys, super proud of you.
I know.
One quit drinking, the other quit. What did you quit doing, Herm? Other than
eating.
There you go.
Eating for 5.
Eating food. That's what I did. I stopped eating food.
Okay, fair enough. So I'm going to ask Herm, outsider looking in, don't watch much of the product. I watch the big shows. I watch a Raw here, a SmackDown there. So I'm kind of up to date with the things that are going on before we throw it to John for match number 1. Overall, 2 nights, what did you think of the show as somebody who hasn't watched the product? That burp told everything.
It was all right. It's a hell of a stage. It's a hell of an outdoor stadium they built inside that arena. Yeah, I mean the set was huge. I mean we had dirt bikes blowing back and forth across the stage. We had people driving up ramps. I would say the card itself over the 2 days was 50-50.
Yeah, I think you could have cut a lot of the fat out, which I'm sure the matches were going to.
And add and not just cut the fat out, but added some meat. I think there was far too many too unimportant and not again, I don't know how long the stories are running, and I'm looking from the outside, but I would have liked a little bit some of the matches to just been some better wrestling. Like I don't know who, like second match, day one, that match with
the New Day and the War Raiders,
yeah.
Who had previously lost like 4 times, and
it was like a
won.
bunch of some fat Vikings and the Jamaican bobsledding team, and that's who I saw wrestling. But yeah, it wasn't that great. There were some very pedestrian, lackluster matches.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I could go through 2 nights, trim just by my count right here. I could trim that match 1, 2, 3, 4.
See,
I could trim 4 out of 14. You'd have a nice
old school show. I would like to see 3.5 to 4 hours of nothing but
10 matches.
The undercard is spots 5 through 4.
Yeah.
Can we not do this 2-day 17.5-hour bullshit? Can we just get a good old fashioned 3.5-hour WrestleMania 7 that just knocks your Aunt Connie's socks off for 4 straight fucking hours?
Oh yeah, I can remember.
We all remember this, right?
John.
It was 4 hours of just bliss, and the best matches, nothing but.
Exactly.
Go ahead, John. John,
you're free to go, John.
Oh no, I let's see what I thought. I thought the whole show, with one exception, was pretty just mid.
Yeah.
Pretty mid.
Yeah. Like there was no top shelf weed in that store. It was all just Mexican brown all day, bro. It just straight up.
And the reason for that is, whenever they started doing the Cena thing at Elimination Chamber, they tried to book like Vince Russo in the 90s. They tried to. It's like Triple H said, "Oh, they think it's predictable. I'll show them predictable." So they throw these things at the wall and hope that it sticks. Why did Cena turn heel? Why? And then they expect us to still buy his merchandise, of course, right? Because he's still
that bothers me a bit.
It makes no sense.
JBL says it on his show. When I was a heel, they came to me with a T-shirt idea, and I said, no, heels should not sell merchandise. The minute somebody buys your shirt as a heel, you now won over the crowd.
And then you have Rock.
Right.
And Rock says,
you're
we don't need
not
faces.
a crowd. Now you're a favorite. If they're buying your shit and liking you, we can look.
We don't need good guys.
We all closet love heels. We've all got closet love for look. Does any one of us have an Iron Sheik t-shirt?
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Only because it was before my time.
Right.
Well, I got mine from PWT.
Right. For you, it's like a vintage piece, and I get it. But for us, he was a heel, and nobody the Iron Sheik.
But
we didn't have his shit when he was hot and popular and being an asshole.
The only thing he sold
later when we were old grumpy men, and we really loved his kind of old grumpy. He didn't give a shit attitude.
I see where you're going.
Like him. I don't like him. He's the same over the top heel as he is an over the top baby face. I just don't like him. I don't think it works. It's my least favorite thing. I thought the right thing to do we'll talk about that at night too, but the right thing to do if Rock really cared about his company and wanted to save wrestling, he should have shown up.
And we were waiting for him.
I totally expected. I was like, I totally expected him to make an appearance, and the closest he had was with the hardcore belt. I really expected Rock to make an entrance here.
And today on the Pat McAfee show, he was like, "Oh, we just decided to let John Cena and Cody Rhodes just resonate and have the Rock lay out." Yeah, because it sucked and you didn't want anything to do with it. That's why you laid out.
More than likely.
Anyway.
You backed right up off of it, and you weren't riding that horse. That's why.
Yeah, I had a whole thing booked, and I sent it to John. I said, "Here's what I see happening." Oops, that didn't turn out very well. Because I just saw this picture in my head of how the end of that match was going to go. When we get to the end of that, I'll say what I said to John, and everybody will go either, "Oh, that makes sense," or "Oh, that's the dumbest shit you've ever said." But it would have been better than what we got. So here we go, night one.
True at the same time.
That's exactly night one. A lackluster match with the last 4 minutes of this match turned me on to the match rather than all the dreck that went on in the beginning. Jey Uso beat Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Two things stuck out to me in this match. Obviously, Jey Uso's fighting from underneath. The booking was, "I'm afraid of you, I'm afraid of you, I'm afraid of you." He smacks Big Jim around. Now he's like, "I just want to rip your throat out and stick it up your ass. I'm coming at you hard." Well, shouldn't you be coming at him hard the whole time? That's what made it kind of blah. Thank you. You should have been all guns blazing the entire time, not like, "Gee, I'm going to be facing this guy that's bigger than me." It's a show. You shouldn't act like that. I've been watching that LFG, and they tell these kids, just because so-and-so is bigger than you, you have to play the part. If you're going to fight from underneath, make me believe you can do this. Up through and including 2 weeks ago, I didn't believe Jey Uso.
If you're going to fight from underneath, you have to make me believe that you are an underdog. That you are the underdog.
And that you can do it when the bell rings after it's all over. But those last 4 minutes.
That's the whole problem with this. Why would you have a crisis of conscience ever when you won the Royal Rumble? What the heck are they doing?
This isn't back in the day.
He had all the momentum in the world.
Vince,
he had all the momentum in the world, and then they put him with
character development.
Dude is the development. Dude is one of the 3 most over dudes in the business right now. His character is pretty well developed. What they did was
until he played Pansy.
I was going to say with this run for the last 2-3 months, they walked his character backward.
Dude, nobody's heard him not be cool with this whole storyline. If that's what they're doing,
who? Jey Uso?
Uso. He's completely cool with having with them wanting him to play basically the bitch role in this.
I don't know if he's completely cool with it or not, but what's he supposed to do? Say, "I'm not going to do it"?
Well, no,
those paychecks with all those zeros on it.
He's not. Uso's not going to be a boat rocker.
Right? Those paychecks with all those zeros on it kind of a lot louder than my conscience.
Exactly, and he doesn't have that "this doesn't work for me, brother" kind of stroke. There's only 2 or 3 guys that can do that.
The last 2 WrestleManias, barring by that I mean the 2 WrestleManias before this one.
Yeah.
Barring The Rock's appearance and interference. Mwah, chef's kiss. Perfect booking. This one, not so much. What happened with this show? I'm much more negative than I'm
here to put it. I'll put it this way: the last 2, 39 and 40, were 10 pounds of bologna in a 2-pound bag. There was so much there for you to consume. This was 10 pounds of bologna in a 30-pound bag, and there was a lot of air inside. You was hoping would be filled.
Right? Why? It's because the build was bad.
Some of the build. We'll talk about some of these. Some of these matches were great builds. Some of them were, well, here it is, a match for you.
Most of them were not good.
Fair enough.
I'm including the big main events because
but because I thought the build up for the main event of night 1 was tremendous.
So
I thought
tremendous.
I thought the main events were better.
It got me within the last 2 weeks. But like I was talking with a friend, I was like, remember when you were excited for WrestleMania for like months because there was just this match you wanted to see?
Dude, it's only 4 months away.
Like Seriously, no, I'm being serious. Like,
No,
there was a match.
I'm being too. It's only 4 months away.
Yeah, they didn't do it the same. They did not do a good job with the build all the way through consistently.
Understood.
Let me ask you guys
I didn't realize
something.
how much I cared about it, because
Right.
I like good wrestling too. Like, I'm one of those people that can just watch a match for the sake of watching a match. But this time I was just like, I don't care about some of these.
Mm-hmm. Lynch, what was your question?
Yeah, what's that?
What do you guys think is the reason for such a sharp narrative change in the last 2 to 3 years? I mean,
the Rock coming in and torpedoing everything.
Are you talking overall or just for this?
Triple H came and took over, right?
Yeah. Well,
I thought it got better with him.
Oh, it did.
Well, I'm talking about
Right.
I'm talking about like when. How in the fuck did they get to John Cena turning to be a heel? What
Paul.
guided them there?
It depends it depends on who you talk to. Triple H says it was his idea. I think.
Well, it's a retarded idea.
I think he's taken the blame for somebody. Like, maybe it was Cena's idea. Because that's my point. That's my question about narrative change. Is that, like, for the last, let's say, 5 years, it's been pretty solid. It's been a pretty good story arc. Now, Johnathan, I don't follow it. I don't watch every match. I got highlights on this WrestleMania, and what I saw, I enjoyed. It was entertaining. Yeah, if you watch the highlights, you can get the good stuff.
Yeah, and you know what? Because I've learned over the last 10 years, highlights is all I really need to watch if I want to keep up with the story.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, the last 2 years, for a while, it was once Triple H came and he was hitting on all cylinders, doing his thing. I didn't want to miss anything. This year I had the Chris Burns mentality. I don't really feel like watching SmackDown. There's nothing I really want to see.
Basically, since Vince is completely gone and removed and has nothing to do with anything,
that's the point I was.
Helmsley is shit, and it doesn't have Vince in his ear. Helmsley is shit.
Yeah,
the booking is
where I was trying to point.
I don't think that's true at all. I think he probably had because NXT, when he ran it, was great. The first 2 years he ran the show was great. I think now he's got big corporation in his ear. Hey, Paul, why aren't we selling as many tickets this year as we did last year? Well, it's up to you to sell tickets. Oh, it is, really? I thought I was just supposed to write the stories. Oh,
I just booked this shit, as Cornette would say. You know?
yeah, like a Jim Cornette thing.
To go back to
it's a rudderless ship. That's my point. It's a rudderless ship. Nobody knows who's really in charge.
I'll go with you on this one, Lynch, because you asked the question. To John's point, Vince is out. He's done shitting on interns. He's done paying, hush money and writing NDAs. And Triple H takes over
the office.
Right? Triple H takes over the book. Like John said, exciting week to week. You were actually looking forward to, if you're a guy like me who says, I could miss Monday, I can miss Friday, I can catch up in 30 seconds on the internet, to I'm actually DVRing the shows. I want to see, even if I watch them a day late, something since the TKO merger. Again, to John's point, it's become a little too polished. I don't want polished. I want a little bit. I want a little bit of grit. I can handle polish, but I want to be able to suspend my disbelief, like watching Star Wars.
You want it to be polished, but there should be some scuffs, like it's like it's been walked.
It's Hollywood now, right? Ari Emanuel's a Hollywood guy. TKO has a Hollywood guy. He's got Dwayne Johnson in there as a Hollywood guy.
Right.
But I mean, I still think Triple H is doing a hell of a lot better job than Vince McMahon has done in the last 10 or 15 years. Even though I didn't like it, and I was talking to my friend, like, it took a long time. But I watched their video packages, and the day before night one, I was like, okay, I'm excited now. But that's not how it should be happening, right? You shouldn't try being my friend who's like 15 years younger than I am. So there's a generational gap. He's like, well, it got you. So that's all that matters. Right. And I was like, well, that's one argument you can make, but that's not how it used to be when I was growing up.
No,
Right.
and that's
in order to get it, you had to watch the show, to watch the television.
Right, but even then, Herm, if you go back, let's go back to you and I were both at WrestleMania 11 back in the day. And
oh shit, you old.
If you want to pick one match out of the air, let's go with Bret Hart versus Bob Backlund in the submission match. They walked you back a year. Here's how this started. And Bob Backlund snaps and goes nuts. And then here's what Bret Hart does. And here's what Bob Backlund does. And we have gotten to this point. They walked you back 9 fucking months in a matter of 2.5 minutes of a video package. And if you did not know, if you were Lynch, no offense to you, Lynch, but if you were sitting on the couch at Billy's house this weekend and say, tell me why I should care about AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Back in the day, you'd get a 2.5 minute video package telling you exactly why. Now it's just like, now we're getting ready for this matchup. A lot of these were filler, and I love AJ Styles, but his match was filler, and we'll get to that when we get to night 2. But to the point you were trying to make, Lynch, to the point Herm made as the outsider coming back in, it's like Speedway review all over again. We even have the branding up top. Guys, you are watching Dysfunction Junction. This is not the Speedway review. I just noticed it too, and I'm sorry.
It is a review.
It is a review. It's a WrestleMania review. To Herm's point, Hogan Warrior, WrestleMania 6. Even if you did not watch the show, you were sitting in the theater with us in New London, Connecticut, and before that match even started, they gave you a 4-minute video package. Here's where it started. Here's where it's coming to. Boom. And if you knew fuck all about that story, you were caught up by the time the camera panned the crowd and the pageantry started.
Well, and that's why I'm so disengaged, is because I'm the outsider coming back in to take a peek at what's going on. If I can't follow it, why am I interested?
Agreed.
If I don't know why these two clowns are wrestling, if there's anything in the narrative, you're not telling me.
Yep.
You got to keep it simple, and that's the problem. Is they're changing their formula on how they tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
And John made the perfect point: is that they're Hollywood, and Hollywood's a totally different look than what wrestling was for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
It was raw.
Look back, and because we're talking about WrestleMania,
you can't do it that way.
Yeah, go back and watch the first 4 to 5 WrestleManias and see how they progressed. Then watch from 5 to now, and to just that progression. Like it is very much Hollywood. It is very much spectacle. But at the same time, I'm not paying for spectacle. I want to see what's in between that 20 by 20.
Right. Right. Tell me why I'm still interested. Why am I sitting here watching this?
Because you told me. Because you told me to, Drill Sergeant.
Yeah. Oh well, that's pretty much it.
I wonder if they thought, man, we have a lot of time between now and Mania. We're gonna have to drag this out because Easter's really late this year. It's like 2.5 weeks later than it usually is.
I asked somebody about this, and they are pretty sure, and I don't want to spoil any names, but he did wrestle for many years, just never other than job matches with WWE. And he said that was probably a Vegas call. If you want to use the stadium, we ain't got nothing going on Easter weekend. This would bring in this would revitalize the town that's usually dead during Easter weekend. I guarantee it was a Vegas call.
That makes sense. That makes good sense.
And that follows like suit from other things too. Your major league sports are going there. Football, baseball, everybody's moving to Vegas because California's too fucking expensive to build in. So in Vegas, I'm going to tell you this. There's a couple more things that are going to happen in Las Vegas, and it's going to become the new California.
Yeah. The A's, they've already got the Raiders. They invented the Golden Knights for the NHL. The A's are going there. It's not going to be long before the NBA is going to be there. They already have two NASCAR races a year. They are right now becoming the sports capital of America. Fuck New York, fuck Boston. Those are the big markets, but you're right. the sports world is migrating toward Vegas in a way they haven't done so since, big time boxing with Holyfield, Tyson, Sugar Ray, all those big time fights that came out of Vegas.
And here's what makes Vegas unique. It doesn't matter what time of year you go there. It's good enough weather where something's going to be going on. So you catch any time of the year, you're going to catch something. You catch basketball, you can catch football, you can catch hockey, you can catch fucking polo, whatever, soccer.
Yeah.
Something's going on. So it's like that's a captive calendar year right there, man. You should have been,
you probably, I don't know if you did, but you kind of just mimicked what Basil DeVito, his longtime WWF upper guy, they did a 90-minute documentary on Peacock about WrestleMania 9, which came out of Vegas.
Right.
And like how it was built and how this did. And
I mean,
basically said,
when I was a kid, I thought that show was awesome. I don't care what the critics say.
It was good. It was pretty good.
Except for the
But
Hogan.
That's one I actually remember.
Yeah, and it was like how they took over the town for that week while they're building the set. The guys are going out, and it turns into like impromptu meet and greets. Lex Luger talks about when he could walk, going to the crap tables and being inundated with autograph requests. Yokozuna couldn't leave his hotel room. They would shuttle him under the hotel to get him out of the hotel to go get something to eat. They took over the town. And this time they did just the same on a bigger scale, but I don't think they delivered. Well, they delivered for the fans-ish. They didn't deliver for those of us at home. And I'm going to skim 2 matches, just give you the results. I'm going to use Herm's euphemisms. The Island Boys beat the Fat Vikings, which was the New Day defeating the War Raiders for the Tag Team Championships. And Jade Cargill defeated Naomi in a very shitty match.
For Jade, it was good. Jade,
it was good. It was, come on.
She keeps getting better. And to be honest, from a story standpoint, it was the only undercard match where I thought, okay, I actually care about this one.
I'm glad you said from a story standpoint, because this should have been Jade coming out and just absolutely not even fighting from underneath. I'm going to come out. I'm going to beat the shit out of you for what you did to me. It should have been 2 minutes out the door. She should have just come back and got her revenge. And then Naomi comes out on Monday, Friday, Thursday, Saturday. I sound like the girl from Godfather now. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. And plead her case. I got robbed. I want another match. But instead, we got
her too. They're teaching her too, so they're probably like, "Okay, we want to see how you do in a longer form match this time." And I mean, it was Jade, so it wasn't great, but it was. She's better. She's getting better, and I liked it for what it was.
For what that story was, that match was 7 minutes too long.
Yeah.
And the match only went 9 minutes.
They're trying to teach her to go longer, though. They're trying to, because she came up. All she's been doing are short squash matches.
You're arguing both sides of the point.
We are.
If this story, no, you are. If this story is Jade got thrown through a car windshield and found out Naomi did it, and dude, she should have come out, smacked the ever-loving piss out of her, pulled the weave out of her head, and left with the weave in her hand. Instead, we got 9 minutes of dreck.
I'm a pastor, man. I have to argue both sides of the point.
God bless you, my friend. Anyway, again, using a Herm euphemism, Jacob Fatso. I hate this match, and I don't want to talk about it. Jacob Fatu beat LA Knight for the United States Championship.
Jacob Fatsu.
I was upset.
But anyway.
I was upset. I kind of knew going in Jacob would win. However, I wanted LA Knight to put up more of a fight, and he did not. It was it was the most pedestrian LA Knight match I ever saw.
Yeah, it was too short. That was too much of a squash. Yeah.
All right. Before we get into the next match we're actually going to talk about, here is another. Ray Phoenix subbing for Rey Mysterio Jr. lost to, from the Gulf of America, El Grande Americano.
Did you see what Pat McAfee said?
I can't remember.
His birth certificate. He was born in 19 whatever. It was the Gulf of Mexico then. He is from the Gulf of Mexico.
Good for Pat McAfee.
So now they're trying to please both sides.
No, But that's the perfect heel thing.
I know, I love it. I love it.
I brought it up on the show a couple weeks ago when we were talking about the changeover, and then 2 weeks later, here comes El Grande Americano. It's Chad Gable, people, and hailing from the Gulf of America. I'm like, boy, you want to take the most rowdy, mostly Republican crowd you can, and turn them you're either going to love this guy or you're going to hate this guy because of the fact that you said he's from the Gulf of America. That's old school heel booking.
I'm a classical liberal, and I thought it was hilarious.
I still think it is. But yeah, good showing at least by Ray Phoenix for his debut. Last minute.
To stand in like that at the last minute, fantastic.
Yep. Okay, so now we're going to have some discussion because, again, I'm using Herm's euphemisms from pre-production. Trish Stratus from Wish beat Ric Flair's kid, which is Tiffany Stratton defeated Charlotte Flair to retain the women's championship. I got 2 points right off the top.
Chubby Trish Stratus.
I like Tiff. Even when she was a heel, I like Tiffany. She brings something different to the table, albeit very much Trish Stratus-y, if you will, esque, if you will. I don't like Charlotte Flair. I've never liked Charlotte Flair. She's a Nepo baby. She gets by on her name and whatever plastic surgery she got in the last
Her face is longer
months.
than Mr. Ed's.
Dude, look at a picture of her from 10 years ago when her father's going at the Hall of Fame. That's a beautiful girl. Now she looks like something's melting.
Was hard and put away wet. Yes.
It looks like she went to the plastic surgeon, showed them a picture of Kerry Von Erich and said, This is what I want.
Thank God I wasn't.
Jesus.
Thank God.
I was on one of the.
Don't hold back, Chris. Tell us.
I was on one of the sites earlier. It was not Wrestling Online, thankfully, because Colin would have snapped back at me quick. And somebody said something about Charlotte. I said, I bet Charlotte regrets. I bet Charlotte regrets the plastic surgery. I'm like, she should get her money back and then some. She should sue whoever did that plastic surgery. Whereas Natalya gets her face done and she looks good. Charlotte gets her face done and it looks like somebody did a burnout on a dirt bike right over her lips.
The only reason why I wanted to talk about this match was because the girls went off script leading into it.
Hold on. Herm, are you going to die?
Maybe.
Okay, please don't die.
This took too much.
No, I got him. Okay. Going off script, good point. I think that was the best lead up that they could have done.
Mm-hmm. And it's what made me care about the match.
Especially, and I got to give it to Tiffany Stratton saying, oh, you know what? When this is over, you're going to be lonely. 0-3, like your marriage is.
Like, that's where she went off script. But Charlotte went off script first. I don't remember what she said because it was the Tiffany Stratton line that stuck with me most, obviously. 0-3, like your marriage is. Oh my gosh! And then she got the hell out of there.
Oh yeah, and
really
you
quick.
Saw Charlotte.
Really quick.
Charlotte try to.
And then,
Charlotte tries to bounce
she
back.
turned around and ran.
Pretty much.
Oh no, she as the babyface, she healed the babyface, rolled out of the ring, and Charlotte has to do something. Is that why Kaiser's in my DMs? Like, oh, wow, that did not hit at all.
She does not have her dad's wit, his quick wit. That's for sure.
Duh.
Yeah,
no,
she does not. She is a good wrestler. You're too harsh on her wrestling ability. I wouldn't go so far as to
no,
say
I didn't say anything about her wrestling ability. I said something about her face and her mic skills.
Nope. Well, she kind of is a Nepo baby, I guess.
Okay, would
her
Charlotte
wrestling
Flair,
skills are fine.
Would Charlotte Flair be where she is if not for her famous father?
No.
Thank you. The prostitution rest, Your Honor.
Prostitution.
I'm going to need another beer. This is going too well.
I want another one, but one craft beer every half an hour is not a good pace.
Oh, see, you're drinking craft beer. I'm drinking crap beer. Okay. One thing stuck out to me in this match. This was probably one of the best matches of the weekend. You didn't see a lot of air in between them. Everything looked crisp. Everything looked tight. Tiffany chipped her teeth during this match.
Yeah, they laid it in thick, man, as they should have, as you knew they were going to.
That's
That's why.
Do you remember, John, when we were talking about SummerSlam 2 years ago, and it was Cody versus Brock, and I said some of those throws that Brock was doing to 228-pound Cody was making me physically ill to watch. Like, I'm sitting in my chair just going, okay, just please don't kill him. I'm not going to watch a murder live on pay-per-view or PLE or whatever the fuck they call it now. Some of the shots that they were taking at each other were so crisp and so stiff, I believed they hated each other.
They do. I think they might.
Regardless, they put on such a great show.
They did well. That's why I wanted to talk about the match, because I didn't care about that match until they went off script. And then I thought, oh, this is now interesting, because is Charlotte gonna be the one to put her over? I hope so, because I thought it was way too soon for Tiffany to lose, even to a returning Charlotte Flair. And I would have been even more pissed if she had lost, because, like you said, Nepo baby. Maybe
without
she is Nepo baby.
Go ahead.
No, I was about finished. Go ahead.
Without the name value and the, I don't know how you want to put it, the legacy, the history, this was the female version of Rock Hogan at 18. The past against the future. They're coming to a head. Charlotte's been doing this now 14 years or so. Multiple time women's champion. She is basically the flag bearer.
Jesus, no, not
She's
14.
basically the flag bearer of the division.
Yeah,
dude, she's been at it since like 2011.
Years. She was on NXT in 2016. Don't say 14 years.
She's been training and putting her work in since 2011, the year her brother died.
I know. I'm getting old. I just don't want to.
You know what? You can stop that old shit with us three.
I'm younger than all you guys, but still.
Combined.
Dude, when I started riding, you know how old I was when we started riding?
I don't want to know. Don't want to know.
Okay, I'm going to tell you anyway. I was
Go
17.
Ahead. Go fuck yourself.
I can't. That's impossible. Can't reach that high. Anyway.
I have questions. Anyway.
I was like, that came out wrong.
Hell of a match.
That's what you said.
It was great booking, making sure that Tiffany was the winner. And
so
20 minutes, she was allowed to show what a lot of people, that the knock on Tiffany is, she's a short match person. She's a Barbie doll. The Barbie entrance I loved how she just stuck it to the internet marks. Oh, you want to call me a Barbie doll? Watch me come out of a Barbie box for this match.
I do have a knock against her, though, when she was doing an interview with somebody and she kept talking like this after everything she said. She had this up-talk inflection like a teenage girl. She needs to get that out of her.
That's a Minnesota thing. I got a buddy in Minnesota talks just like that, and he's 55 years old.
Is she from Minnesota?
Yes, she is.
Oh, she is? Okay. All right.
Yes, she is. Herm, did
not
you
a
watch
good wrestling club will make.
A lot of good guys come from Minnesota. Herm, what did you think of this match? Did you watch any of it, or you just?
I saw the Pink Parade.
The Pink Parade.
Wait, I just want to say something, dude. Kurt Hennig and Rick Rude don't talk that way. They're from Minnesota.
Yeah, but they also traveled around the world.
Hopefully, she'll learn.
Maybe. I don't remember Kurt Hennig promos from 1982, but I remember them from 1989.
Yeah, same.
So let's see in 3, 4, 5 years if Tiffany Stratton comes up with, new vernacular other than, okay, so what I'm saying, I know exactly what you're talking about. What up, JR, in the comment section? How you doing tonight? Here for WrestleMania.
Hey.
All right. You saw the Pink Parade.
Yeah, it was good. The match was pretty tight.
I thought they did a fantastic job. We're going to end off night one with the triple threat match: Seth Rollins versus CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, with Paul Heyman paying off his favor in CM Punk's corner. In Punk's well, technically in all corners, if you want to talk. I thought the first thing that came to my mind, I loved Seth Rollins during the Burn It Down having the mini flamethrower, not as cool as The Rock some years ago, but had the mini flamethrower. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Then Roman does his usual Roman Reigns.
Did anybody else get Did anybody else get a really long black screen between him burning it down and then being bedazzled Jesus?
Yes. That's another thing I wanted to bring up. Seth Rollins needs to get a new fucking costume designer.
Homeboy needs a better costume change designer. Like what?
Not only that,
we can hear it, but it's just black. Not even a video.
Black screen for about 35 seconds.
And then all of a sudden, bedazzled Jesus shows up on screen.
Can we just have him play, please? Coming from the religious guy, can we have him play a Messiah figure? I think that's where they're going.
Right? He's got the whole Jesus look going. Like,
I think that's where they're going with him.
Dead.
And I want
Let's
to see
kill
it.
him
They've
off.
done it before.
Absolutely correct.
When I took Emma to her first wrestling event, he was then known, or that was one of his 700 nicknames, as the Monday
Night Messiah. Yeah.
I almost bought the shirt until I realized I have to wear that in public sometimes. Nope, not going to do it. When he comes out, he's got the all black. Obviously, it was Becky's jacket with the fluffy shoulders and whatever, and his wife did a good job on night 2. We'll talk about that.
Yeah,
and then
he had the Disco Jesus outfit on underneath that.
Oh yeah, but they show the first tight shot they show. He's got the thorns on his glasses. Now immediately I'm like, "Fuck you, Seth Rollins. Fuck you."
For real. Like he's.
Any other time of the year, I buy it. It's Easter freaking weekend. Come on now.
That was the tie-in. It was perfect.
I don't want to hear it.
Wow.
I don't want to hear it. La 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 la. I am not listening to Herm.
That's how the
I am
church
not listening.
pagans.
I am not listening to Herm, but he is still talking. I could hear you the whole time. The second thing that comes up, obviously Roman Reigns comes out, puts his finger in the air. He's got the fula bula bula gula gula, the jalapeno, the jalapeno necklace. And then we get CM Punk doing his original promo from 2006. I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird, but I liked it. And then I saw Vernon freaking Reed. And then I saw Corey freaking Glover. And I saw Will Calhoun. And I saw, oh my God, it was Living Color. And they played Punk to the ring. And I was rigid. Awesome. I am not going to lie. Awesome. They still sound freaking phenomenal.
That was incredible. I watched that entire thing.
It was awesome.
You did. Did you? And the part where Punk puts his hand on the shoulder and Corey kind of leans the microphone, and they were both singing. Like, fuck yeah!
I hate to tell you, but I was talking to the guy who's 15 years younger than me. He said, "Who are these guys?" And I was like, "Well, they do CM Punk's theme music, and it's a '90s one-hit or two-hit wonder band. So take it for what it is." And he said they're really good. And yes, of course they're really good. It's in living color. But how do you explain to a 31-year-old, or he might even be, no, I think he's like 26.
Give him to me for an hour. Give him to me for a day. I'll figure him out some living color. And they were more than a two-hit wonder, you schmuck.
Okay. Like legit
hit? Yes.
Okay, good.
They had quite a few.
I missed them. I just missed the.
Yeah, well, you were 3.
Grunge. No. No.
Yes. 1990. How old were you?
7.
Oh,
okay, you were 7.
7.
Yeah, I was
7-year-old walking the dog, no house, motherfucker.
No house, motherfucker.
Anyway,
this again. You guys are too old. Mean.
Fantastic match. I complain sometimes about too many finishes, but when they all hit their finish one after one after one, I was like, okay, now you've got my attention. You've all hit your finish. We've cleaned the slate. This is a brand new match. And now comes the finish. John, take it away. The finish of this match.
I haven't rehearsed it. I can't remember who he hit first. He turned on both of them. I thought I knew first. He was going to turn on somebody.
Right.
Somebody was going to get a nut shot, but not only did he get one
bagged Punk.
Yep.
He bagged Punk first.
He backed Punk.
And then gave the chair to Roman. and Roman
Right.
beat the shit out of him with the chair.
That's right.
And it was like, look, there's Rollins. You owe him.
It's yours. He's yours. I love
Yep.
that. I
And
love
as he
that.
turned,
He's
And then
yours.
he bagged him.
here comes the windup. And before the pitch,
The
nut
baby
shot.
stiff arm.
And do you see when he did the nut shot? He did one of these like, oh, it feels so good to
Like,
do this.
fuck
kind of
you
look.
sideways, motherfucker.
And he was getting in on it. But I was like, oh man. But boy, I was like, that is classic wrestling, classic Paul Heyman.
Mm-hmm.
A new story. We've never seen Paul Heyman teamed with this guy. This could be really, really good and really, really fun. And I was so excited for night 2 after seeing this match. I was like, okay. I was like, maybe Triple H can turn make chicken salad out of chicken shit, because he sure did here. He absolutely did.
Go ahead, Lynch. I see your hand up.
Sorry.
That no, don't call me sir. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
I work for a living. That
I'm not
match.
going to call you John Cena's wiener.
Yeah. That match, the last match of night 1, could have just been WrestleMania.
Yes, that was my
Seriously.
WrestleMania. Like, that was my moment.
Right? Because everything,
Not mine.
and I see where, after looking, because I've looked at everything just to compress time. I watched all the highlights and like just to get a general idea. And then I stopped and watched that entire segment because I'm like, oh, that's a lot longer, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. That could have been the entire night 1. With two undercards, and this is the big main event, and they could have stretched it out for another 45 minutes, and that would have been an awesome single shot WrestleMania.
I'm not going to
a couple of fights.
Yep, I'm not going to take away. Go ahead.
Can we?
If
get
he
another
steals my
country-
point,
Can we get another country to mount a media table, because the Spanish table gets fucked every goddamn event. I'm
Dude,
just
Yes,
saying.
they do.
I'm just
Somebody
saying. Does
somewhere
nobody
has-
else notice that the Spanish table?
dude, somebody
Just
somewhere has been saying that for the
abused.
last 20 years.
Yep.
The fuck? Can we get
Yep.
another? Can we get another country? Just
you know
one.
what? They're not going to do it, Herm, because it'd be like, excuse me, France, would you like to send some people? No, we see what happens to the foreign tables. You can take the donkey to the top of the rim.
poor
We're not having a
guys at
Greek
the-
table either.
The poor guys at the Spanish speaking table,
Should wear body armor.
they don't even show up anymore because they know their table's getting wrecked. When they wrecked the Spanish speaking table, there was nobody there.
Nope, they sat in the alcove actually and did the rest
because
of the
they
show.
knew their fucking table was getting wrecked.
You just got to put them in a little box
There used to be a
somewhere in the
team
arena.
in 2004, 2005 in Ring of Honor when I covered a couple of their shows, and they were called the Spanish Announce Team because their gimmick was going through the tables. No matter what they did, they finished by going through the tables. They were the Spanish Announce Team. And I was like, God damn, that is genius.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, what?
Freeze?
No, you're good.
Oh, you're good.
If we can give credit where credit is due, in that match of 3 men, 1 man was the star of the show, and that is Paul freaking Heyman coming out, being CM Punk's best friend, and then turning on him and crying the blues, then looking at Roman and saying, Tribal Chief, it's all you. I'm sorry. I was always loyal to you. And then turning on him, and at the end, hugging up on Seth Rollins. MVP of night 1 has to go to the only guy who didn't take a bump, Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman.
Yep.
Fucking amazing.
I agree.
Actually, I'm going to vote that, even though I thought, no, this wasn't the show. Okay. Night 1, best match of the night. We'll go around the table. I'm going to go with the main event, Rollins, Punk, and Roman. John?
Absolutely, I'd go with the main event.
Okay. Herm? Best match of night 1.
I have to agree with that.
All right.
It's a wash.
You kind of
Why
already
not?
know my opinion that it could have been the entire night 1. That was
Okay.
that was really, really good.
Okay. Now, night 2 was a different story. Whereas the first night started off slow and rose to a crescendo, they carried the momentum on night 2 from the first match, and it was a banger. Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley for the women's championship. I did not see Io winning this. You know, I wanted Mommy to win. I didn't want first of all, fuck Bianca Belair. Tired of her ass. I'm tired of her act.
That whole hair swinging thing, that's not food code or sanitary at all.
Or wrestling code. And the fact that, look, she hits people with the hair. My hair. I worked a long time on it, and
I bet
you hit
it
it.
Hurts. I bet it hurts.
Have you seen? Did you see the welt?
Crystal Gale.
Did you see the welt months ago when she did that against who was she fighting? It was Rhea, and there was a welt across her back.
Yeah, because it's twice the width of a belt, twice the thickness of a belt.
Yo, can we get her and someone else for a ponytail match, please?
Oh, I thought about that months ago. I told Billy, you want to get a great house, a great
good old fashioned haircut match.
That's it. Loser loses their hair.
Oh.
And speaking of hair, how does Jade Cargill come into the match with her short crop gimmick, and then I see her on ESPN the next day with long flowing locks? Take the wig off, bitch.
Well, that's a cultural thing.
I'm not in that culture, so I'll leave it alone.
I'm just saying that's their thing. They wigs and hair, and
it's an African American culture thing, is what he's saying.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And I'm not being shitty about it. It's just that it's easy. Shorter hair is easier to deal with and manage, and then you can have any look you want. And they spend money, and they spend money on good hair.
Their money. It's their money. They can do what they want. My money, and I want it now.
Hey, she's making more money than she ever did. So
exactly.
Good for her.
AEW, we're the best. Wrestle my ass. So I thought this was a fantastic match, perhaps one of my top 2 of the night. Not the way I wanted it to go, but let's give it up to Io for a little diminutive girl. That girl can work, and she puts on a hell of a show.
And that was this was one of the things where it goes back to my point about it being like hotshot booking all the way through. Rhea had the title, Io took it. You can't tell me that months ago she was supposed to beat these two people. Triple H heard the crowd and thought, whoa, she's really over with this crowd, and went with it and made something out of nothing with the overlooked story. I liked that. I'm overlooked. I'm disrespected. I thought, wow, they're really
built that,
throwing stuff at the ceiling and hope that it sticks, but it's stuck.
Done. They built that. Every time she was in there with, say, Bianca, and somebody pops up, more than likely Rhea, Io gets pushed to the side while those two are fighting. Now
they did. Maybe they did it for too long.
It doesn't matter. It built the interest.
But I'm just trying to figure out why I didn't see it until it happened, was because maybe they did it for too long.
No idea. I wish I knew, but I really enjoyed this one.
It seemed like a guess, like he was going to try to make something work out of it, and it worked. I'm happy it worked. It's like, eventually you get there, but it was so fast, and then I just said it was so slow at the same time. I don't know.
Io has been one of the better performers for the last year in both divisions, men and women.
Mm-hmm.
And that was smart booking to keep that going. You didn't want her to be a transitional champion.
Yeah,
right.
He made the best. He made the best out of a bad situation.
Right, and I know the other two gentlemen on the panel did not watch Monday Night Raw. I watched it earlier today. It kind of led into what happened the Raw after Mania with Stephanie Vaquer, who Stephanie Vaquer could read the phone book, and I would listen to it.
That would be entertaining for you.
She might be my new future ex-wife, and I sent you guys a video.
Oh wow! I'm trying
of her where she puts the girl's head between her knees and she bounces up and down. But it was to that stupid the fuck's her name? The Bananas song, Gwen Stefani song.
Oh yeah.
Somebody merged the song with Stephanie Vicaire doing the head bob gimmick, and I was like, okay, you have my attention. And then I watched her a little more, and she is fantastic. The Sin City street fight, which was not much of a street fight and not much of a. I didn't like this one. This
brutal.
was over the top. It was brutal, but it just didn't.
Not much of a street fight. It was a street fighty as street fights get.
It wasn't.
It was crazy.
It was crazy, but when I think of street fights, I go back to the old school jeans, boots, taped fist. Yes, I'm an old head. I want Tully versus Dusty. I want Piper versus Goldust. I want grit, and this had too much polish, not enough grit. It was polished grit, if you can say that. Did I just make up a term?
No.
Maybe.
Well, it makes sense, so I'll let it go. But
it wasn't scuffed up enough.
Thank you.
Right. What was I going to say? I don't remember what I was going to say. Carry on.
Okay. We'll go straight to the 4-way match for the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Breaker, champion, fights Finn Balor, Penta, and Dominic Mysterio. And boy, you want to talk about future booking. Dominic Mysterio fucks his buddy, Finn Balor, for the win and the championship. And in the strangest turn of events, the crowd went nuts.
Yeah, they didn't do that on Monday for him.
No, they kind of shit on him on Monday.
Boy, I thought it was the right call. I never thought I wouldn't have said this 2 years ago. He is so good. But man. Oh, I remember what I was going to say about the last match.
Oh, go Rain Man.
Sorry, the two champions were fighting. They were champions last year. Now they're mid-card. Of course they're going to be trying to prove themselves. Yes.
Okay.
So I think they had chips on their shoulders that they were trying to expunge in that match.
I would have liked a little. I mean, we got back and forth. We got, this guy fought from underneath and this guy fought from the top and yada, yada. I would have liked a little more than they got 13 minutes for the street fight. If you'd have given me 5 minutes more, and again, I'm just putting my opinion out here. If you'd have given me 5 minutes more, give me a little bit more brutality, break some crazy shit out, weird weapons, if you will. It would have been better. But instead, we got a video game street fight.
That's a good description of it, too. Video game street fight.
Last thought on the 4-way for me. I don't know what John or Herm or Lynch have to say. Braun Breaker, I'm calling it now. Do not write it on the blotter. John's going to keep it in his head because he remembers stupid shit I said from a year ago. Braun Breaker, within the next 365 days, will be the world champion.
I don't know if I'm comfortable putting a time limit on it, but he will be for sure.
He's got the best. He's got the best of both his family members. He's got his dad, Rick. His intensity. He's got Scott's speed. He even sounds like Scott. We were watching the show. And I'm like,
Scott.
I said to Billy, I'm like, I wonder if Rick is going to get a DNA test on his kid to figure out if Scotty's really the father, because he's just got. And when he does the Frankensteiner, you'd swear to God that Scott Steiner took off the mullet wig and has a flat top, and it's the same guy.
Yeah.
The speed, the intensity, the crispness, the flow. Who didn't like Scott Steiner back in the day? And Braun has all of it.
He does.
I can agree with that.
He's got. Oh, yeah, he does. And both of them have charisma for days. Scott and Rick both had charisma. He's got.
Oh yeah.
He's got everything from both of them.
When I interviewed Scott Steiner,
it is Rick's son, right? Rick's son.
It is Rick's son, yeah.
Son. You'd think it was Scott's son by the way he talks.
Yeah.
Did you see
when I interviewed
he did Steiner math recently?
Yes, he did. That was hilarious.
That was awesome.
Herm, if you've never seen that promo, look up Scott Steiner math, and you'll have the best 3 minutes of your life that doesn't involve naked women.
That's funny.
Oh, excuse me.
But he started referencing one of his dad's old promos and adapting it towards his situation, and I was like, "This is cool." But yeah, I was watching this. I was like, "Hey, I remember when your dad was a world champion," and I was like, "Man, I'm really old."
Yeah,
because it doesn't seem that long ago, right?
24 years, my friend.
a long fucking time.
The final Nitro. Anyway, for Penta, I felt bad because I thought going in he was going to win because they've been pushing Penta to the moon, and rightfully so. That dude's got everything. And the fact that WWE just acquired AAA out of Mexico is a great freaking business move. Because now you can have the influx of you don't need 1 or 2 or 3 or 5. You can have all of them. You can just say, like, much like they did. We'll talk about it in a second. They could just call up and say, hey, we're doing a show in Texas, Arizona, New Mexico. Send up 3 to 5 guys from AAA, and we're going to light the crowd on fire. And they're going to do it. It's a good business move.
It has to be like a little fuck you to AEW, does it not?
Well, yeah, because Tony Khan's been trying to buy AAA.
Well, yeah, but he's also partnered with their rival organization.
Yeah, the shitty
CMLL, one. Right. But yeah, I mean,
we're the best wrestle my ass.
By the way, this pastor has no problem with cussing as long as there's no church people watching. So that's fine.
Okay. Church people, turn the volume all the way off.
Stay away. Get fired.
But now,
no.
For my main event.
Yes.
For months,
we
have been building to Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. They're smacking the shit out of each other every chance they get. Kevin Owens gets nixed by a doctor. You got to go get neck surgery. They don't say shit. And we're sitting there the whole night. As every time they talk about this match, we're throwing names out. Rusev's coming back. We're thinking Aleister Black. I did mention the person at one point as a goof, and then we start throwing out the old guys. Bob Backlund. Oh, maybe it'll be the Boogie Woogie Man. And we're just laughing, having a good time. Randy Orton gives his little speech, and the pause made this whole thing. The doors open, and that music hit. And the roof blew off that place. If you watch that and you didn't hear that pop, you're not alive. Joe Hendry is over. It doesn't matter what we think of him. We had a great discussion pre-production. I want to get Herm's thoughts for the big crowd. But, man, 60,000 people clapping and singing, and Joe Hendry's doing his bit. It was a good match. And Randy Orton did give him his flowers twice at the end. Once raising his hand and walking him around. Shut up, Herm, I'm not done. Raising his hand and walking him around. And then after the second RKO, and Orton does the spin and the Orton hands. And then he walks over. And if you didn't see this, he taps him on the chest and he goes, "Great job, kid." And walks out. Not audible, but you can see his lips. "Great job, kid." Pats him on the chest, leave. The fact that for the first time in WWE pay-per-view history, WrestleMania, I should say, a champion from another promotion is prominently featured against not their champion, but Randy Orton's a fucking first ballot Hall of Famer. And if you watch the entrance, Randy Orton's bobbing his head to the song, and he's like, "All right, Joe Hendry, I'm cool."
It was like he was trying to hide it at first, and then he was like, "Screw it, I'm gonna go with it."
It's like Sheamus at the Rumble.
He heard the music at first, and his expression didn't change. And then as he went along, he's like,
he's bobbing his head.
Yeah.
Joe Hendry is over, and it doesn't matter what we think of him. The people speak, and if 60,000 people are singing your song and cheering, and you're not a regular, you're over, kid. And he's gonna have. I don't know what his contract situation is at TNA. Dude's coming to WWE, and he's gonna skip NXT. He's done NXT shots. But no, he's coming straight to Monday or straight to Friday.
I would imagine.
You can't stop him. Herm, go ahead. Just rain on my parade. I believe in Joe Hendry. And so do you, in a small way.
I'd pay big money. Big money. And I like to spend money.
I know you do.
I would spend big money. I'm going to look right at the camera for this one.
Mm-hmm.
to hear Bobby Heenan be there when he walked in. I'm just saying. I would spend big money to hear him.
Were you expecting like a what or something?
No,
like
no, it's Heenan. He'd be talking about all these idiots.
Who is this?
Yeah, it looks like a parking lot at the used car lot.
Jesus, the song tells him to, and look at these idiots.
Who is
and
this?
that'd be a Heenan line. Wow, the song says wave your hands, and 60,000 of these idiots doing this shit.
Are they supposed? They clap before they become the used car parking lot.
Do they do everything he says? I could totally see Heenan pulling that shit.
If it were an R-rated product,
make a big omelet with that.
Stop it with the big omelet. Stop it with the big omelet. But yeah, I've always wondered. Again, he should be the hugest heel because the song tells you to love him, tells you to believe in him, tells you to wave your hands, tells you to clap.
But he was a heel.
He was, and the people turned him.
Right.
The people speak
so much. I hope.
No, I get it. I just like the whole industry should just hate the entire fucking concept of.
But they don't.
What a buzzkill!
Like, think about it. Every classic purist is just like should literally be like, "Fuck this dude." Peace. Like, he's supposed to. Is he a heel? What is he? He's obviously a fan favorite.
I think. Again, like John pointed out, he was a heel, and he wrote that song to piss you off, but people got into it. And much like the people turned Razor Ramon, the people turned the people turned John Cena back in the day. John Cena didn't turn John Cena. The booking committee didn't turn John Cena. John Cena became a babyface because they got into the act. Then we got tired of the act. And we turned on John Cena. Now he's doing exactly what we wanted him to be, and we hate it.
A decade ago.
It doesn't matter. It's classic. He's doing.
Ago.
I wanted to bring this up. I'll bring it up in a few minutes because we're almost there. He's giving us what we wanted, and we hate it.
A decade ago.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Joe Hendry, when he gets to WWE with the song and clapping and waving your hands and the spin, which I think is freaking amazing.
Calm down, Disco Duck.
Listen to me. I think the whole presentation is fantastic. When Joe Hendry eventually turns heel, he's taking that away from you.
Oh, it is.
And you're not going to have it.
It's beautiful.
And you're going to want it more.
That's not true. I don't think that's true because that was Seth Rollins. It doesn't matter if he's a heel or a babyface. They'll sing his song if they like his song.
People are told to like Seth Rollins. I think, fuck Seth Rollins. I'm done.
Sorry, I interrupted Herm. What was
fucking
Herm
man? No, I mean,
like,
Jones.
Just like he's the whole premise, and I get it.
He's stuck.
I'm not getting off this fucking soapbox. I'm sorry. I'll die up here.
I will send you Joe Hendry videos every time he does something big, and I'm gonna be right. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm right. The people don't lie. The people that buy the tickets, the idiots that buy the t-shirts, hello. It doesn't matter. We love this guy. And I'm gonna be right when he comes to WWE eventually, and he turns heel and he takes the song away. And he, like Lynch said, and he and I and John all know this, and I think Herm, you know this too. He writes his own ring music. He's a musician. So when he writes something different, people are gonna shit on it. Because we want to wave our hands. We want to clap. We want the guitar. We want the presentation. And he's going to take it away from you. That's the beauty.
I feel he's like if Saturday Night Live did a skit about being a fucking wrestler, that's what you get. Like
that's probably absolutely accurate.
That's literally the fucking as accurate and nice as I can put it.
See Will Ferrell
if
up
you ask
there
SNL to do All right, we want you guys to make a character and do his entrance.
And he's a wrestler.
I feel like the entire staff would be like, this is the one. This is the shit. It's
I can agree with that 100%.
It's like this.
I agree with the SNL thing, but I don't agree.
It totally is.
I agree with that point. Because that is absolutely. That's why I love it so much, because it's so just fucking ridiculous.
Varsity.
And it's kind of something. It's getting a guy who hasn't watched wrestling.
He's literally
interested again.
Forcing his own self. It's brilliant.
It's self-deprecation.
It is. It's completely brilliant, and I get it. You know what I mean. The nuance is not lost, but the old school purist wrestling fan in me is like, there's deep down, there's a piece of me that's like, I fucking hate this dude. I fucking hate everything you represent.
And I can understand that.
I can understand that's how a lot of people feel about Pat McAfee. Talk to the younger people; they think Pat McAfee is amazing.
I can't stand that fool.
He's a little bit over the top.
I rest my case.
I dig what he does.
Stand that fool.
I rest my case.
I dig what he does, but he is a bit over the top.
People, they think it's the greatest thing, but the wrestling
listen, the old folks, sit down, you cartoony fuck.
Oh, then you know what? Maybe you should
cartoon character.
All right,
sit down.
Herm, you got homework.
We got red ass Herm over here.
Herm, you got homework.
No, I'm the one that leans left.
No, red ass Herm, as in you're angry.
Oh yeah,
red ass. No, not Republican.
Not that red.
Red
seriously,
ass.
Sit down, you fucking clown.
Like pissed off.
Herm, you got homework. Your job is to watch this week's Monday Night Raw and see the Pat McAfee bit. It's close to the end of the show, but
I'll do that.
I think you'll be happy.
I like him because he's a fan.
All right, you might be able to find the clip on YouTube. Look up Gunter Pat McAfee.
Yeah, he doesn't want to spoil it.
That's fun. I will. I'll check it out.
It was fun. I'm going to breeze through the next two matches so we can talk about the main event. I got some shit I got to say about the main event. I'm sure John does too. And we got 17 minutes left. Logan Paul beat AJ Styles in 17 minutes. Good move to put Logan Paul over AJ. Good move by AJ to put over Logan Paul. If he's serious, and he seems to be, Logan Paul is going to be a star on this circuit. He's a star elsewhere. He's an attraction. He's a guy that sells tickets. I get to see Logan Paul. Great. But he's put the work in. And I hate to say it because I've hated this guy for years, ever since my daughter was like, I like this YouTuber named Logan Paul, and he does stupid shit. And I'm like, oh, now he's going to be a wrestler.
That's funny because I hate him even more for the exact reason that you say you like him.
I love that he put the work in.
But here's the thing. He said, with this contract, I'm going to be a full-time guy now. He hasn't been a full-time guy.
No, he's very busy doing other shit.
Well,
I don't watch all the time. I try to catch.
This was his first match since he signed his new contract.
Wasn't he at
six months ago?
He was in the chamber.
He said he was going to be full time.
Fuck if I know. I don't follow that stuff. I don't follow the contractual gimmick. And,
you don't pay attention to the details.
No, I let that go years. I let that go years ago.
Listen, Logan Paul had a lot of years as a YouTuber, becoming a genius marketing man and self-promoter.
Fantastic, but I don't know. I don't think he deserved the rub that AJ gave him. I think is my thing.
AJ's 40 plus years old. He's on his way out.
It's AJ's. No, I don't think that he should have necessarily beaten him, but for AJ to, you know what I mean.
It beats watching.
He hasn't been around. He hasn't been around when he said he was going to be full-time.
Oh, but it was okay years ago when Chris Jericho jobbed to Fag Bago on WrestleMania in his first match on the big time. But this is a problem. Fag Bago, the dancing guy.
Oh.
Fandango.
No, I didn't like that either. No.
Well, it was different. At least Logan has had decent matches with Ricochet and LA Knight and all these. He's had decent matches. He's showing he's done the work.
That's fair. That's a fair point.
I'm not saying put the world championship on him. I'm saying
I
okay.
would if he were full time.
Oh my god!
If he committed to it, I'd say yeah.
Okay.
I'm a fan. I just wasn't a fan of it here, but AJ put him over. So, I mean, that has to be huge for him.
Oh yeah.
For Logan, if he's a fan that he says he is, he should be over the moon about
if
that.
what you're saying is true, and he's going to be a full-time guy, and he's going to make the towns, and he's going to make Mondays and Fridays or whatever.
Well, he hasn't delivered it yet. He said he was going to. He didn't.
Okay. If he does, this is where he starts to shine.
Yes. I'll go with that.
Your second surprise of the night.
Good.
Not as cool as Joe Hendry, but just as good a surprise. Becky Lynch joins Lyra Valkyria to defeat my other future ex-wife, Liv Morgan, and Raquel Rodriguez for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Okay, let's be honest.
Bailey, who's been fighting all year and doing her job all year, that pissed me off.
I don't know why she got pulled. I don't. Maybe it was just for the Becky thing, but
yeah, it was for the Becky thing. That's the only reason.
Everybody in this match, not named Lyra Valkyria, was solid. She was the outlier. Everybody else, the match looked great. Lyra was like watching LFG or NXT.
I think she was nervous because I've seen her do better.
Yes,
I've seen her do better. She must.
But in this match, garbage. It was the worst I've seen of her.
She must have been nervous. But can you imagine if she's nervous, and then imagine if she's already nervous, right? Because it's WrestleMania. Yep. Oh, by the way, we're changing plans. Becky Lynch is your tag team partner. Holy shit! Like I'd be super, super nervous.
Understood.
So, I wish she could have done better, but I'm not going to blame her for it. Because man, dang. Yeah.
Again, the other three women did a fantastic job. They carried the match. Especially my future ex-wife, Liv Morgan.
All this talk about your future ex-wives, I'm trying to remember who your original there was a future ex-wife on your list in our Wrestling Online days. I'm trying to remember who it was. But I don't.
Oh, wow, you cut me.
I'm trying to remember.
If I have to remember, way back then, I think it was either Stacy Keibler or Lita.
I think it was Lita.
Ooh,
yummy!
Can't go wrong. Yes, sir. All day, every day.
Yo, God, yeah.
All right.
Sunday.
I was like, man, he's had a lot of future ex-wife hopefuls.
Yes, and
he's got a full roster.
The list continues to grow. We are at the main event. This won't take long, even though we have like 10, 15 minutes left. John Cena beats Cody. I love the new entrance for John Cena. Everything goes black. There's no color. I am angry. I am a heel. I'm coming out. I'm going to put the towel up, even though to everybody's point that he's still selling merch, which makes no sense. Cody gets the motorcycles, the automated flip. I hate the fucking mask. I still hate the fucking mask.
It's the Transformers mask, isn't it? Isn't that what it's supposed to be?
I think so. But my complaint about this match is not the finish. It's the way the match went. It was slow. It was plotting. You have two of the very best ever to step into that ring. First of all, you could see Cena call the spots and hear him at two different points call the spots.
He completely ran that show.
Yeah. No, you could hear him. Well, the heel calls the match. But you can hear him going, tackle, drop down. Boom. Do it again. Boom.
He's always been infamous for that.
I've never seen it until maybe I watched it with a different.
You can't hear it in all places, but I've definitely it's happened before. If they have a mic too high, you can. Yeah.
This was more blatant than Ted DiBiase and Bret Hart at the Survivor Series, where DiBiase leans in and goes, reverse charge clothesline. Right, and the camera is right there in the corner.
Yeah.
Fuck. There's a reason why Hogan, you never heard Hogan because he's doing the asa, tackle drop down, asa. He's drawing your attention away by doing that, and he will call the spot.
Right.
This match was slow. This match was plotting. This match did not make either one of these guys shine. And Travis Scott, you might be a fantastic musician. Get your ass out of the ring. Where was The Rock? Where was the story that we were told since February?
That's right. There's no excuse. The only excuse is Rock thought better of it. I don't think this is such a good idea, you guys. I'm not going to put my name on this at this point.
No, depending on what the internet wrestling community has to say, he's either filming a movie and it was a conflict of interest, or Triple H pulled him, or Nick Khan pulled him, or Ariel Emanuel pulled him. It doesn't matter. He wasn't there. He said
it was his idea now, but
it
still.
he was the linchpin of this entire story, right. And he's not there.
And that's why I hated the match.
That's like going to a Star Wars movie. The Revenge of Darth Vader. I just wrote this movie. The Revenge of Darth Vader, and you don't see fucking Darth Vader.
But I was talking with you as the show was wrapping up. I was like, wait, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Where's The Rock?
Yeah. Where's The Rock? Where's The Rock?
Where's The Rock?
Nothing.
And I was like, no. And even if The Rock had shown up, I still would have hated it. But I would have thought, oh, okay, at least they made an effort. At least they made an effort to salvage it at the end.
Somewhere in the beginning of the match, I texted John and I said, here's what I see in my mind's eye. The Rock comes out. He helps Cody win. John Cena is now cast off to the side. He can now do the rest of his run as a babyface and retire a hero.
Because John Cena has now said that he exists to ruin wrestling.
Well, yeah, that's what he said on Monday. However, that when I sent that to you, in my mind's eye, that would have been really good booking. Of course,
yeah, but he said that before Monday.
I didn't see that.
He said that before, and you're exactly right. It should have been Rock coming out to not kill Cody, but to save his company.
How? I still don't understand it. The biggest babyface in the last 20 years is doing his retirement run as a heel. It doesn't make sense.
It's because it's what he wants. It's the only explanation I have. Or that Rock and or Triple H thought it would be a great idea, which it freaking is not.
It sucked because your main event, if you want to call it that, if you want to put two matches in that should have been the main event, I'll go with the 3-way ladies match. I could go with the 4-way for the Intercontinental Championship. I could have accepted Randy Orton and Joe Hendry, tongue in cheek. I'm just being a schmuck here. Any one of those three matches would have, or I shouldn't say would have, did beat the shit out of this match. This match was garbage from beginning to end, and I blame both of the guys involved. I blame the booking. It was just slow. Watch it back. It was terrible.
Yeah, and it had to be that way because Cena. I think
you don't think he's got the juice anymore.
The heel traditionally calls the match, and that's true. But I think if Cody called the match, Cena couldn't keep up with Cody. Cody can keep up with Cena, but not the other way around.
I hear you. I
think that was the right move, but I wish they could have mic'd him better or not at all or something. But
there were 7 different times during that match where I heard Cena call spots.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go back to anyone else, even Roddy Piper, who was the loudest son of a bitch on earth. You never heard him call a spot.
Right. Yeah.
But again, we're at a different age where everybody knows it's entertainment. It's not real. This isn't, top flight boxing. This isn't UFC.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you should have a big sign that says this is fake plastered everywhere.
Maybe I don't have my promo written on my wrist either.
That's true.
Let's give Cena credit where credit is due. For a lot of years,
decade-old references already, and we don't even realize that it was a decade ago that it happened.
Yes, I do. Cena was the gold standard for a lot of years, and then he goes off and he does the Hollywood bit, and chances are all of us here have seen at least one of his films, or films that he did cameos in. But when you come back to what made you your original bread and butter, could you try a little harder to be discreet and This is what every non-wrestling fan points to and go, and that's why I don't like it.
They should have just kept it as the babyface versus the babyface and gone and let Cody win, or maybe even let Cena win, and kept it babyface versus babyface because as it is now, it just doesn't make any sense at all.
If you'd gone baby,
does.
Go ahead, Herm.
I love the heel turn.
I like
with
the
you.
heel turn in the moment. In the moment, it was amazing. But when you think about it, it doesn't make any sense. Why would you want to turn your draw heel?
Second part of your homework, Herm. It's earlier in the show. The John Cena promo. Again, same thing. Dark. Just John Cena. No lights. No, it's still the music, but it's dark. He's coming out. It's just him. He's walking out. He's complete full-on heel. And that promo was amazing. And after the promo, even better.
And doesn't this whole not, no changing, right? He's not changing very much. The only thing he's changing really is his face and the way he walks out, right?
Pretty much.
So
think One Night Stand.
So doesn't it basically mean he's going to turn good anyway?
Oh yeah, I mean that's
he has to get his flowers, right? That's the other thing that doesn't make any sense. I will have mad respect if he retires as a heel.
Well, that's the thing is all of you are going to hate this whole heel thing.
I don't.
No, but you know what I mean. Everybody's going to like it, but people aren't. And then when he goes back, it'll be even bigger.
If he stays heel, I might have more respect for that. Because now I'm expecting him to turn back.
Go out as a heel like Batista?
Well, yeah. He said, I will win the world title and retire with it.
He did with his promo on Monday, and I'm not spoiling not spoiling the promo for Herm because he's got homework. I'm gonna when this is over, Bruno Sammartino, this one, that one, Roman Reigns, I'm going out as the last real champion. And you will crown another champion, but I'm the last real champion.
That's what CM Punk's argument was with it when he came back the first time, which I thought was cool. Well, gents, it's been real, but I have to go and take care of the dinner.
You go take care of the dinner, and we will talk to you again maybe in the summer for SummerSlam. I think that's only one night. If it's two, we're not going to do it because I can't put Herm through 6 hours of this shit.
It is 2 nights.
We'll put you know what? We'll go Survivor Series, War Games. There's 4 hours. He can do 4 hours, not 8.
I hope that they don't move Survivor Series to 2 nights because I'm with you guys. I don't like the 2 nights, but it is the way it is now.
Too much.
Yeah, it's the way they're going with it.
Yep.
As long as the Rumble stays one night, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Royal Rumble night too, boy. Oh, they have women's Royal Rumble night.
Shut up, John! Don't ruin this.
Yeah, that's right. There's women's night, and then there's men's night.
They'd do bad numbers for night 1 if they did that.
WWE, if you're listening, don't listen to John. Whatever you do, don't listen to John.
Nope.
One night Rumble. That's it.
Everybody wants it one night.
Oh my God! Thanks, John. Appreciate your time, gentlemen.
Man.
Thank you, sir. Right. Gentlemen, as John is leaving, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. We'll call.
Ta-da.
I'm going to ask you for your favorite highlight before we close out from the 2 nights of bullshit that this year was called WrestleMania. Herm, what was your highlight?
It was Paul Heyman doing Paul Heyman things.
I love it. Lynch?
The end of night 1.
Okay, fair enough. As much as I want to say Joe Hendry, I too am going to go with Paul Heyman. A double turn classic. This was Paul Heyman 1992. Right. This was Paul Heyman ECW. This is the Paul Heyman that we all missed instead of walking out and saying his name. My name? No, I don't want that. I want dirty, nasty, disgusting piece of shit Paul Heyman. God bless you.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yes.
And in case I haven't mentioned it 75 times, Joe fucking Hendry.
There's 76.
All right. Thanks, guys, for indulging me this week.
Yeah, it was fun. I like talking about wrestling.
I'm glad you do. We'll have to do more of these. We'll have to get fucking Marsh involved if he can stop talking about Big John Studd and fucking Junkyard Dog and shit.
For real.
For real.
I had some thoughts on the Hall of Fame. I didn't get to them, but I'll make a brief mention. Michelle McCool, Mrs. Undertaker, goes into the Hall of Fame this weekend. Pioneer of the women's division. And listening to people say, oh, she shouldn't be in. I'm like, bitch, please. Fucking Hillbilly Jim and Coco Beware and the Bushwhackers were in the Hall of Fame. And you're going to bitch about Michelle McCool, who actually made women's wrestling something awesome? Fuck you.
Right.
That's why I hate the internet when it comes to wrestling. Past that, the internet's pretty cool for porn.
Heard.
All right.
There's a lot of sources for that.
I know. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you watched us live or if you're watching us after the fact, subscribe, leave a review. Reviews are helpful. Subscriptions are helpful. You know what else is helpful? Money, but we don't have a Patreon yet. So we'll get to that. Once we get to a certain level, we'll open a Patreon.
Yeah, baby.
All right. Herm's wiping his eye because he knows what's coming up in a half hour.
Sure.
All right. Hey, guys. Yeah, please join us on the Speed Review, 8 o'clock. We're talking Rockingham, baby. First time there in 144 years. Corey will tell you more about that.
Yep.
Play the drums. We're out.
I'm sure he will.
Just going to play it.
All right. Can we change the outro music to the Joe Hendry theme song?
I will
It's
fucking
possible.
kill you.
Thank you. That was the answer I was looking for.
It is possible. It's not probable, but it's possible.
On tonight's title match, Bob Backlund and Joe Henry.
When I say my name, we disappear. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Joe Henry. Bye.